Hi, I'm Carrie Beck with How to Homeschool My Child, and I'm just excited to be here with you today to share a resource that I have been using off and on for about 15 years. But you may be wondering, well, who are you and why should I listen to you? Well, I homeschool my kids for 10 years, and they are all graduated now, and they are off doing their own thing. But they still tell me that the concepts that they learn from this curriculum and this resource and the other resources that we use with Excellence in Writing continue to help them to this day, especially while they are in college, and two of them still are in college. So you may be going, well, what are you talking about? It's called Teaching Writing Structure and Style, and there are two parts to it if you were to ever order it from a vendor. We have our discs and we have our binder. Let me just show you what you would get in here. This is our set of discs. In the first set, you're going to get six DVDs. This is Andrew Pudewa teaching moms and teachers how to teach writing. The next DVD is what we call our tips and tricks, and it is tips and tricks for each of the 9 units that are taught in this resource. And then finally, there are 3 student workshop seminars, and they are for our A level, our B level, and our C level, and it teaches units 1 and 2. So you could take this resource, and what I like about it is you already have a resource that you could pop this DVD in and let your kids learn the first 2 units of this particular program just by watching Andrew teach the students. You may be going, okay, now who is this really for? This program is to teach teachers how to teach writing. It overall is not a student program except for those 3 discs in the back. Overall, it is to help teachers be better writing teachers. If you're looking for something for your students, I would suggest Student Writing Intensive. Let me show you what Teaching Writing Structure and Style is all about and how it works. There is a quick start guide. We have some tabs here that you can put in where you see fit. But let's just look at the overall philosophy of what's going on here. Again, we are teaching moms and classroom teachers how to teach writing. The reason I like this program, and listen carefully, I was a public school teacher for 6 years. I didn't buy a writing curriculum when I first started homeschooling because they were all similar to what I had seen before until I came across Teaching Writing Structure and Style. For the most part, they were all brainstorming and trying to come up with what to write about. But I wanted something that would help me improve my students and my kids' writing. This teaches how to write. We're going to tell the kids what to write about, and we're going to teach them how to improve their writing by using the strategies here. So here we have our 9 units. The first 2 units are note-taking and summarizing from a reference. Everyone starts here, and then they can go the nonfiction route or the fiction route over here. And those are the rest of the units. Let's just take a look and see how a unit is formed. We first have our goals. We have our recommended materials, and we have the teaching procedure of what to do. And then we have our paragraph that we're going to take notes from and a sample outline. And here's the same thing that you can print out for your kids right here. You don't have to go find something that you can start with this particular lesson. Unit 1 still has more procedures, and then it's adjustments for different ages. Grades 1, grades 2 and 3, and grades 4 and up. How are you going to use it? So you don't need to buy a curriculum for all different grades. You can buy this and actually be able to teach your kids for years. Your kids can own one investment for years of teaching. This also has some answers to some commonly asked questions, and then it also immediately hits on public speaking because writing integrates with public speaking so well, and so it's going to tell you how you can integrate that. And now we're immediately on Unit 2, set up the exact same way. We have samples of paragraphs that kids have written using this strategy. And then we go in not from just the outline and the structure of writing, but we're going to hit all of Unit 2 as helps you with stylistic techniques. Again, we have our goals, recommended resource, and teaching procedure. And then here we have a list of the different types of stylistic techniques that will be taught. And here's another list of those, just in a different way of organizing. The first thing you're going to talk about are dress-ups. Dress-ups occur, once they learn it, one in every paragraph. Then we're going to hit sentence openers, and then we're going to do decorations. That's over a 2 or 3 year time period. If your kids are 2nd or 3rd grade and just starting, you're going to go very slowly. If they're in high school, you may teach all of this first 2 parts in a semester. Here's another key, and what I really like about teaching writing. If they ask you or your student to do something, they give them the tools. Dress-ups, LY word. Okay, well, some kids don't know what an LY word is. They don't even know what an adverb is. You don't have to know what an adverb is to use it. Here's a whole page of LY words. And you tell your kids, let's read through your sentences and find an LY word that works for your sentences. They've done one dress-up. If you hit sentence openers and they're supposed to open that sentence with a preposition, because how do most kids start? They usually start with a subject and a verb. We're going to teach them other ways that they can start their sentences. They don't even need to know what a preposition is. Here's a whole list of them. What I'm saying is they give you all the tools for you to teach better and for you to share those tools with your kids. It continues here, and we're going to go into decorations and all sorts of things. And then finally, each unit you are given a checklist. You know, you're like, how do I grade my kids' writing? Right here. Every unit gives you a checklist, and if they check off all the boxes here, then they have successfully completed this lesson. It's either an A or an incomplete. If they are learning dress-ups, maybe they only know LY words and who, which clause. So that's all they have to do. And every time you introduce a new stylistic technique, you can add it to the checklist. Our stories, how to write a story, have a specific checklist. How to write research paper has a checklist. There's a checklist for every type of writing and all the stylistic techniques that you will teach here. It's going to go on, it talks about marking and grading, and then goes on into the units. Now, I'm not going to go into all of these. What I really want to do is flip to the back and show you what's at the back. This is our section on tips and our tricks. They are notes. So here we are in Unit 3, and then we scroll on over, and there's some source text, lots of little samples for tips and tricks, and then we go on. We've got Unit 6. It continues. All the notes of how you can more easily teach this. Then we're going to land in our appendix. Again, a brand new page of adverbs. And lots of tips and tricks here. All sorts of ideas of how to teach. Like here's refining the which clause. It's how you could teach it further, more in depth. All right, so you've got all different ways of how to do it. In fact, this is from the public or private school. It shows you how to plan for that. From the home school, you can do this, and it shows you the first 35, 40 days of teaching this and how to do it. The other thing I really like about this is it has a lesson plan guide. Here's your lesson plan. You print it out for each week, and you use it to plan your lessons. Get this. Here is an outline of how to cover this in a year if you wanted to cover all 9 units in 1 year. It tells you exactly what to cover. And then here are sample lesson plans with sample lessons all written right here for you to use. Now, what could be easier than to have it all here? Now, the other thing, finally, I want to tell you is what I like about writing is writing does not have to be a separate subject in and of itself. The way teaching writing is taught here is you may integrate it with the other subjects, the other studies. So if you're studying the American Revolution and you want to write a story, use the narrative structure here. In fact, let me tell you a little story in closing. My kids, we were studying the American Revolution, and we were going to rewrite, I think it was Bunker Hill or Lexington and Concord. And so I said, you rewrite it, you can do any changes you want, but you have to keep the same problem. And my daughter, who loved the American Revolution, kept the American Revolution. I don't remember what my other daughter did, but my son, I remember, he was about 7 or 8 years old. He changed it all to Winnie Pooh in the 100-Acre Wood. And he still learned how to write a story. And that was what he was interested in. And that's fine. He learned about the American Revolution to figure out what the problems were. And then he learned more about writing by using this and then using it something a topic that was of interest to him. I highly recommend this. Like I said, I've been using this since about 1998, which is 14 years. Great program. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or you can call me. And if you're ready to get a copy of it, just scroll to the bottom of this page or go to howtohomeschoolmychild.com. I'm Carrie Beck, and I hope you have a great day and best of luck in your homeschooling endeavors.